The new nations turn to the sky, ushering in a new era of commerce. And with it, sky piracy was born. This is a world on fire. This is the world of crimson skies.
I want him dead. Now.
I hope you don't mind if I leave my socks on. Hey, Maria?
Steady, Nathan. Steady now. No sudden movements. Steady. Problem with the high-stakes table, Nathan. A few bad hands and you could lose everything. Your Zeppelin, your money, your plane. A man should never mix his champagne with poker. Good spirits lead to bad wages. Pardon the intrusion, Cher, but a shrewd gambler always collects his debts early. So long, Nathan.
Well, I trust I was a gentleman last night. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a plane to catch.
Nathan, are you calling y'all? This is my plane now.
Yeah, well, you win some, you lose some.
I still have your Zeppelin!
Betty, you out there?
Read you loud and clear. Where the hell you been, Nathan? I had to hit Joe's solo.
Sorry about that. I got a little hung up. How much did you make off with?
A couple grand.
I'm afraid we're gonna need more than that.
What do you mean?
I had a little problem in the high-stakes poker room last night.
What kind of problem?
Gambling problem. Thibodeau cheated me out of the Pandora.
You gambled away our Zap?
Rendezvous over Calico Bay. I'll fill you in on the details. As soon as I remember them.
Nathan, come in. Quickly.
Doc, what's with you?
Look! To Einbruch. The lab has been turned over.
You know what they were after?
Oh, I know exactly what they were after.
What is it?
A wind turbine. Only recently have I found a metal suitable for its construction.
It's light.
It's titanium from a mine in Arixo. I was down there trying to secure a shipment when the lab was broken into.
And you think whoever broke in was after these plans? What exactly does this turbine do?
It simulates extreme weather conditions by actively manipulating tropospheric convection currents.
It generates storms?
Droughts could be nullified, arid lands made suitable for crop production. What I'm about to tell you must never leave this room.
Understood.
During the Great War, I was approached to work on a project, Starker Sturm, a wind-generating weapon that was the brainchild of a rather unscrupulous engineer named Dr. Nicholas von Essen. He was a brilliant but evil-minded man. He refused to acknowledge the good that could come of the technology and focused solely on its destructive power. There's more kinetic energy in a tornado than 10 million tons of conventional explosive! Fortunately, the war ended before his vision was ever realized. In the confusions that followed, I left with my research and von Essen fled to South America. I hoped that was the last I would hear of him. Then, this. It's him, Nathan. He's back. I can feel it. I need you to hold on to these until I can find out what happened here. Can I count on you?
Doc, of course you can.
Good. Take them now, Nathan. Go. Tell no one what I've told you. Trust no one.
Nathan, everything okay with Doc?
He's fine. There was a break-in at the lab. Had him a little spooked.
I've got news on the Hollywood militia. Meet me in the map room and I'll fill you in. Got it! Nathan, this is the Pandora. We can't reach Doc. Get over to the lab.
Doc? Doc! No.
That night, I made a promise. Doc's killer would be found and brought to justice. The next day, we loaded the Pandora and headed for Rixel, the last place Doc visited before his death.
Something I can help you with?
I could use some fuel, and a quarter-inch ratchet wrench if you have one handy. Oh, I'm sorry. Is the, station owner around?
You're looking at her. Name's Maria.
You own this place? If I didn't know better, I'd say I was looking at a desert mirage.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were flirting with me. You got a name, Flyboy?
Nathan Zachary.
The Nathan Zachary? Of the Fortune Hunters?
You're looking at it.
Well, Nathan Zachary, now that introductions are out of the way, I have a question for you.
Sure.
You been tangling with Los Dos Muertos?
Afraid so.
Run! Adios, muchachos!
My hanger! Great! That's just beautiful!
You know, for a man with a reputation as a charmer, you sure make a terrible first impression.
This stone statue is sacred to my people. We are grateful for its return.
I have a favor to ask. I need permission to cross Navajo territory.
This is not so easy. Since the rise of the raiding bandits, our borders have been closed to all outsiders. While you have proven yourself a friend to the Navajo Nation, only one who has performed 3 feats of skill and valor will be allowed to pass.
The battle at the mine had made one thing clear. The Red Skulls and Ashbina were working together. To what extent and for what purpose was unknown. We headed for Chicago looking for answers. And the man who could provide them, Jonathan Kahn.
This is an eye-in-the-sky news report. Tension between the DeCarlos and Jonathan Kahn's Red Skulls came to a head early last week when the opposing factions clashed in a reported turf battle high above the city streets. This is your eye-in-the-sky signing off.
Sounds like things are hot in Chicago.
Time to pay Kahn a little visit.
If you're here for dinner, I apologize, but we're not accepting walk-ins.
We need a reservation? Well, that's odd. I figured a Rixo was fair warning we'd be stopping in.
Careful, Nathan. Only a fool makes jokes when he should be offering explanations. Your little shooting spree cost me quite a bit of money.
Perhaps you overextended yourself. Mining titanium isn't your usual line of work.
I had to diversify my interests.
Your interests? As long as I've known you, you've been nothing but a boozer, a brawler, and a womanizing cheat. It's why we get along. But add fascist to the list? Well, I have no respect for fascists.
I haven't the slightest idea what you're rambling about.
Maybe this will refresh your memory.
I want him dead. No. Nathan, I'm afraid you're the one who has overextended himself.
Betty, the window! You guys mop up around here. I'm gonna pay Kahn a little visit. Betty says hello!
Careful, Nathan. My patience with you is running out.
You're trying to have me killed!
If it's any consolation, I was indifferent on the matter.
Who you working for, Kahn? Von Essen?
How do you know that name?
Doc told me a lot of things before you had him killed!
Anger's clouding your judgment, Nathan. Just as avarice clouded mine. I had nothing to do with Doc's death.
Don't play me, Kahn!
2 months ago, I was approached by Von Essen. The deal was I provide the titanium, and he'd help me bust up the DeCarlo cartel.
How convenient for you. Take care of the DeCarlos, and you'd have the run of Chicago.
That's what I thought. But once they were out of the way, Von Essen hung around. Started asking questions, using me to collect information on the industrial state.
That's a mighty long drop. I suggest you keep talking.
Don't fool yourself, Nathan. I talk out of choice, not fear. It was a mistake to cooperate with Von Essen. I see that now that he's made his intentions clear. Oh! He's amassing forces on the south end of town. He has some sort of electric zap. Technology he stole from Tesla. Nathan, he plans to take over Chicago.
Betty and the rest of the crew should be down in the casino by now.
I don't like the city. It's so cold. Anonymous.
Long way from the Arixo Desert. Now that this is all over, you thinking of going back?
There's nothing there for me anymore. That old filling station was all I had. You managed to keep Doc's plans out of Von Essen's hands, huh?
And now that we've busted up his little conquest of Chicago fantasy, I doubt we'll hear from him again.
That may be wishful thinking.
To wishful thinking?
So, is it true what they say?
I don't know. What do they say?
That you have a weakness for women.
You thinking of exploiting that weakness?
Perhaps. Your tux is liable to get wrinkled.
Does it matter?
Nathan, it's your big night. You've got to be presentable. Why don't you go take this thing off?
I'll be right back.
I miss you already.
I hope you don't mind if I leave my socks on. Maria?
The bitter taste of Maria's betrayal lingered as we tracked her south. With Doc's plans in her possession, she traveled urgently and was always one step ahead. But as her trail led us deeper into the southern territories, one thing was becoming clear. She was leading us right to Von Essen.
Careful, Nathan. I got a bad feeling about this. Boss, the doors!
It's time you give me my money.
It will be taken care of.
That's not acceptable. When you approached me in Chicago, you promised payment on delivery. You've got the plans. You've been working with them for the past 3 days.
Charges set on prime in volcanic vents B2 and C6.
Stand by for further instructions.
Are you even listening to me?
Please leave. I have no time for this minutiae.
Make time! I demand my payment!
You want your payment?
Yes!
Consider the matter settled.
Nathan Zachary, just in time for the pyrotechnics. How did it feel, Nathan, to find your dear friend Doc Fassenbinder dead on the floor? You failed him, Nathan. Played right into my hand. It was just a matter of time. A vengeful man always has a weakness. I admit I was a little surprised to find yours was a lowly gas station wrench. Took some convincing, but everyone has their price.
The game's up, Von Essen. Your hideout's been compromised.
But this little archaeological dig site? It's of no further use to me. Chicago will be my new seat of power. With Chicago under my control, the industrial states will rally under the might of the Spinne. And I lead the great tide of fascism west into the People's Collective, then east to overrun the Empire State.
You're getting ahead of yourself, Von Essen. You'll never take Chicago.
Oh, but I will. Doc made sure of that. His design modifications are simply exquisite. You're too late. The turbine's been fully integrated. The Starkersturm Zeppelin is finally complete. And in less than 20 hours, Chicago will concede to my demands, or the windy city will blow like never before. Do try and enjoy your death, Nathan.
By the time we'd restored power to the Pandora's engines, we'd lost valuable hours. Doc's turbine had been fully integrated, and Von Essen's Stalker Storm was closing in on Chicago. We refueled, readied our planes, and set out in silence, only hoping to reach Chicago in time.
Khan, do you read? Fortune Hunters are joining the fight. I need your status.
We're in trouble, Nathan. They've cut through our air support. Tesla Zeps have entered the city.
We got that Spinner fighter scrambling to engage.
Betty, head them off. Big John, bring the Pandora in for air cover.
Copy that, Nathan. Nathan, Tesla Zeps targeting the Columbia Building and Chicago Bank Tower.
Betty, keep those fighters busy. Big John, Khan, those Zeps are our primary targets.
Nathan, the side of the Johnson Tower. What is that thing?
The product of a depraved mind. Blast the outer shells. It'll expose the power cores.
It's ripping apart those buildings.
It's got it!
Look here! The Skulls and Fortune Hunters joining forces to save Chicago. As entertaining as your desperate lilies have been, I'm afraid the real storm has only just begun! Nathan, it's generating some sort of wind tunnels.
No, much worse. Force 5 tornadoes.
They're gonna tear the city apart. Such observational skill, Gus. To think you could have ruled this city. Instead, you'll die like the rest. J2 Squadron 1, close in!
Listen up, crew. According to Doc's plans, the turbine requires external generators to harness electricity from the storm.
Got him, Nathan. They're lining the exterior.
Let's take them out.
Now's our chance, Nathan. Dive in that hole and finish the job. Fire on board the Stalker Storm! All hands to deck C!
G2s, regroup at North Shore Rendezvous. Squadron 6, confirm status. Squadron 6, confirm status.
We did it, Nathan. Von Essen, the Spinner. It's all over.
The city has a lot of rebuilding to do.
Then let it start tomorrow. Tonight, we celebrate. I'll radio my casino. Have them put the champagne on ice.
Nathan?
Thanks, Khan, but I think I'll steer clear of gambling tables for a while.